When you work at a nonprofit, there are so many people that want to try to help you. They are well-intentioned, but lots of times their ideas are not that great. But how do you tell somebody that their idea is not that great? And it might be a program that they want you to take on, or a special event that they want you to do, or something like that. But how do you objectively work with somebody to help them realize whether or not that idea is going to be something that makes sense for your organization? Well, I created this system called the automated no pain, no machine. How do you say no to somebody without any pain, without causing them embarrassment, and in a manner in which it allows them to step back from an idea so they don't have the same level of emotional investment in it? Well, if you come up with a list of ideas, suppose you're going to put on a special event. We'll just talk about special events, but you can use this concept to evaluate any types of ideas or programs that you might choose to do. So suppose you're working with a group and they're trying to decide what special event that you're going to do. You know some of these ideas are not great. Other ideas might be good. So how do you evaluate them? Well, what I'm going to suggest is use this matrix. Let everybody that's going to be a part of this decision-making process list every potential idea that they think is a great idea for your organization, a great idea for some type of a fundraising activity. And then, once you've got all of the ideas on the sheet, doesn't matter how crazy they are, evaluate it on these 5 things. The first thing is it gonna make money? Okay? It's a fundraising activity, so will it make money or not? And it's up to you to determine what that number is. For some organizations, they might say, oh, I'm not going to do something if it's not going to raise $10,000 for me. But hey, there's a lot of small organizations that if an event raises $500 or $1,000, that's a good thing. So you decide whether it will raise enough money to be worth your time. If it's going to raise enough money for you to be satisfied with it, you give that a 10. So you've got your ideas in this matrix. Along the rest of the form of this matrix are the columns, and that first column is dollars. How many dollars will it make? Lots of money that you're happy with, a 10. The next thing is going to be success. How likely is this idea to be successful? Again, you have to think about it in the terms of your nonprofit organization. What does success look like for you? If you think that this will be a successful idea, it gets a 10. If it's not likely to be successful, it gets a 1. The next column is going to be how much effort is it going to take? Will this be hard? Will you have to invest a lot of resources? Will you need volunteer time? Will you need staff time? How hard will this be to do? This time, if it's super easy, doesn't take much effort, doesn't take a lot of financial resources or other resources, it gets a 10. If it's going to be resource intensive, if it's going to take a lot of time, take a lot of volunteer hours or staff hours or money, it gets a low number, a 1. So we've got money, we've got success, we've got effort, and then next is it unique? Is this something that everybody's doing? Or is it something that's special? Something that people will remember? So if it's a unique idea, if it's a unique activity, a unique fundraising opportunity, it'll get a 10. If it's not very unique, a 1. And then finally is mission match. Is this idea something that is a very good match for what your mission is? If somebody comes to that event or they hear about that event, does it scream, this is my organization, this is my nonprofit? If it's an excellent mission match, it's a 10. If it's not a very good match for what you do, it's a 1. So then you total all of these up. You total up these 5 ideas. And if you have other criteria that you want to evaluate your ideas on, just add another column. But you put what the criteria are that make the most sense for you to evaluate with, use my suggestions or your own, come up with a total, and the beauty of this is the great ideas will float to the top. And the stuff that's not so great, it sinks. And the people that brought up that idea, they probably won't mention it because they've realized when you view it objectively that it wasn't that great of an idea in the first place. And you were able to let them save face and still participate in your decision-making process.